Hi, it's Jen Buehler with DIY Anyone. Welcome back. I have for you today what my producer, my husband, called the Unreal Christmas wreath. Now, I have to tell you, I've been making fresh Christmas centerpieces for over 25 years, and I had never attempted to do one with fake garland. I just didn't have the desire, and I thought, well, maybe not everybody can get the real stuff, and they'd like to not make one every year. They'd like to have it fresh. So what you'll notice is on the left, the green foam is specifically for live floral, and you cannot use this kind of stuff with fake floral and have success. And so it fits in the dish like that, and you would get it wet first. And I'm going to do a video, my next video is coming up on a fresh centerpiece. So on the right, you see I have the little Dollar Tree tray, and the important thing I wanted you to see when I was holding that up is you've got to have that amount of foam sticking up to be able to have above the lip of the tray to have enough surface area for all the garland pieces to be poked in. So I'm going to cut that down and into another, or getting rid of just the top part that I don't need. And then we'll put some hot glue on that, and afterward, actually that's just the regular Dollar Tree foam, that's all I'm showing you there. I'm going to put it in there after I stain the tray. So I'm going to get some, I can't remember if I used antique wax or burnt umber that was watered down. I'll show you here in a bit, I'm sure, what I do. Now the thing that's going to be important for you to know here is don't get hung up on, oh my God, I don't have enough 2-inch pieces or 3-inch pieces. Use your eye, trust your eye, and what I'm giving you is just a guideline, okay? Now, if somebody wants me to go back and make it where I show every single piece and do that, I can do that. I can tell you when I do my fresh centerpieces that I basically, every one is different because I don't measure anything. It's all by eye. So then I've got a little bit of water here, and I'm sensing that I'm going to put some burnt umber in there. Yep, that would be what I'm putting in there, even though, oopsie, not very bright or very clear to see. I apologize. All right, so some burnt umber in there just to make a stain for the container. And what's nice is when you're doing a fake centerpiece, it doesn't matter what you put it in. When you're doing the real one, you're going to see that it is a little bit more important. Now, granted, that little green thing that I showed you is pretty ugly, but I promise you, you'll never see it with the centerpiece when we make the fresh one. It's absolutely gorgeous. And once you start, oops, that wasn't dark enough. Oops, no, fail. Oh, no, that, We're going to have to add a little bit more zip to that, aren't we? Let's add some more burnt umber in there. I should have added the paint first and then the water. That was my mistake, is doing it that way. So in the future, when you do it the other way around, where you add your paint first and then a little bit of water to your liking. So then once we get this stained and let it dry. And honestly, the thing is about this, you could even have left this plain. You could paint it any color you want because it's, it's going to be like that forever because you don't have to redo this ever. But you could leave it even, whatever you want. It does not matter. The sky's the limit. All right, so we'll get that all taken care of and dry and clean up the mess. And so I'm showing you a 12-inch candle is what I generally use. And you can use a shorter candle, but the scale just isn't quite as right. And you'll notice too that I don't peel off the whole wrapping of the candle. And that's especially important when you're doing the real centerpiece, the real greenery, because you'll be turning it and you'll get sap on the candle and ruin it. So now we're going to go ahead and put in the styrofoam. So we have our surface to put the greenery in. And then next comes the most tedious part, and you may have to just bear with me watching this. I tried to cut out as much as I could because it does take a little bit of time, but just center that the best you can. And then the reason I put the candle in at the beginning, and this is important too, you want to have about close to 2 inches or 1.5 inches. What is that? Yeah, that's right, at 2 inches above the top of whatever container you use of styrofoam to be able to make this work well for you. That's the key. Then I put the candle in the center, and I always do that with the fresh ones because I don't want to have to put the center, I want to be able to have something to work around. Now, there are many other ways that you can do this. You could use a big candle. You could use a candle holder. This is just the start. And my goal with this is to show you how to make a basic centerpiece. If you can do this, you can do any addition that you want. All right, now the important thing with this Dollar Tree stuff is you've got to fluff it, and it's better to do it at the beginning just to get it where you can't go back and do it, is my point. Once it's in, you don't want to fuss with it. And the thing you need to, so now I'm kind of figuring out, okay, about how long do I want to do this? And I usually make my centerpieces oblong, kind of like the shape of the container that it's in. So that's probably about 7 inches if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 7 inches. And then you've got to have just a little bit of room for it to be able to go in. Now, the other thing that's a pain with this, but to get yourself success is, you're going to want to you can't just stick the pieces of garland in just how they are. You've got to cut away that extra greenery at the base of where you're inserting the greenery piece itself. And I'm sure you're thinking, oh, come on, what a pain in the butt. But really, you've got to do it. Okay, so those I'm making closer to 8 inches. So I'm making some longer and some shorter. And what we start with is the base along the bottom. And then you'll see that we're going to jump around. Now, I already cut, I thought he was going to show that. But you can see how I cut away the greenery. You can see in the pan on the right-hand side of my scissors. You want to cut away about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of the bottom. You can see it's thinner. And this is so important to make it where you don't use up all the space in the styrofoam with the greenery pieces, the little piece of green, what would be needles on a real piece. All right, so now we've got those 7 and 8 inch pieces that are on the base, okay? And you've established that. So now I'm going to 6 inches, I believe. Yep, 6 inches. And I'm going to do some above and some on the sides here, you'll see. Now you've got, what's nice with these is that the garland pieces, the packages, are 12 inches. So that whole pack I just cut into in half. And then I sheared away, as you can see, I sheared the greenery pieces so I could stick it in. You can see it just almost plain wire there. Excuse me. So we're just making a little bit smaller greenery pieces on the sides. And you can kind of bend them down. You can see I put it in, and I even kind of will reach down into the container and bend it as far as to put the greenery. It can go down into the styrofoam, which is more into the container itself, and then that allows for more surface area on top. Sorry, I said that just really weird, but hopefully you can see what's going on here. And with the Real Centerpiece, Real Greenery, I do pull the needles off too. So you'll see how I do that. But that's really integral to making this work. So you've got your 6 inch pieces, and then I'm trying to put some of the 6 inch pieces along the top, and then I cut another bag of 6 inch. So I altogether use 8 bags of the greenery. All right, there's more 7 inch. I'm sorry, it says 7 inches, but it's 6 inches. I apologize. Those are more 6 inch ones. And then I cut away the piece again, fluffed the greenery, did all those steps in between. Didn't figure you needed to see that. But do fluff it. Oh, sorry, camera. There we go. So now we're going on around and still completing the base of the bottom of the centerpiece. And you can just kind of look and see what you see. And I turn it sideways too to kind of get an idea of what it looks like. You can see there's a gap there. And you just go back and fill it. And it doesn't have to be, realize it doesn't have to be, okay, so I'm going on now, bag 4 of 8. Okay. It doesn't have to be so thick that you act like you can't see anything. However, when we're done, I used white styrofoam for a reason. Oh, okay, now we're cutting 2, 3, and 4 inch pieces. So what I do is I jump now from the base. Once I've established that, I'm jumping to the top around the candle, and then I'm going to work my way back down. So the next bag you just cut in 2, 3, and 4 inch pieces. So fluff them, cut them, and then you're just going to go at the top. And the 2 inch ones are going to go straight up and down in the perimeter around the candle. What was I saying before then? Rats. I'll think of it. Now then the 3 inch ones, just angle them out just a touch, like about 45 degrees. You can say I'm doing 35, 45 degrees. And I'm just doing this top area. Oh, so the garland, that's what I was going to tell you. So the garland, I used 8 packages, and I had a few pieces left over in the last package. And honestly, I bought a case of it, and I think there were 20 bags in a case. And it was so much easier just to buy that and not have to run around and try and find it. But okay, so see you got that gap, and we're going to fill that in a bit. So you've done right at the top there 2, 3, and 4 inch pieces, and you've kind of angled them out. That's what I'm showing there. Okay? All right, easy, huh? Easy peasy. Anybody you make one of these for, let me just tell you, they really, really appreciate it. Now, the next bit I cut some 2 inch of those, 6 pieces each. I have 2, 3, 4, and 6 inch. And what's nice is that you can take one of the pieces and cut 4 3-inch pieces. You can take one of the pieces and cut 3 4-inch pieces. You know, because everything's divisible out of 12, and it's a 12-inch piece of garland, you can do whatever you want. So that's one package right there. Okay, for right there what I cut. And if you want to, if you're, you know, an AR or OCD enough, you want to count it out, then pause it and count them. But it's not going to matter because I'll use what I need. All right, so now we're going back to the other side, do the 2 inches around the rest of the perimeter of the candle. And you can see how I'm taking this candle on and swinging it around. Now I have to tell you, when I do the real centerpieces with the real greenery, I have a Lazy Susan kind of thing that I use, because you can't lift that by that candle like that and swing it around because it'll come out of the water. And that's the big key when you're doing fresh greenery, that other sort of oasis foam, it must be saturated before you even use it, whereas this stuff doesn't matter. Okay, so there's your 2, 3, and 4-inch pieces again at the top. Then the other pieces, the 6-inch pieces, I just started to feed in on top of the original base. Okay, now here we go. So what we're going to do is take 2 more containers, packages, whatever. And again, don't forget to fluff them. And now we're going to fill in that area. And I didn't fluff these first, but I'll go back and fluff them, trust me. So I'm doing another, breaking up a package into 2 6-inch pieces. So I'm going to do that whole package into 6-inch pieces. And that's what will help to fit in between the 4-inch and the 7 and 8-inch pieces at the bottom. And so it's really logical, you know, just kind of how you just feed it through there. Oh no, I lied. So I'm going to do some 7s and some 5s on this too. And again, I did not pre-do any of this. This is done the first time, taped all the way through. So then I'll go back. Now I have to tell you, the greenery, you know, cutting the greenery and doing that is messy and it's a pain in the neck, but it really is a necessary step. So please don't skip it, because you won't get the same result if you do. Okay, we're making some progress here. We're on the home stretch, doing that center part. And the reason I do it around the candle first It's because I've just found over the years it's just easier to get around that piece that that's so important to get it exactly right around there. All right. So there's 6 of the 5-inch. And then 10 of the 6-inch. And then 7-inch, there should be 5 more of those. So that's how I show how I cut it, just along the edge like that. Okay, so now you're going to take the smaller of the 3, so the 5-inch, and you're going to go the closest to the top, and realize you're putting it pretty angled from that point. And it's nice if you can kind of just at this point fill in one area top to bottom, and then that'll help you kind of see what it's going to look like. You can see from the side, look at it, so how it just has that graduated look to it. And so this is part of the Chic for Cheap that Christi creates. Christi, sweet girl, who hosts this once a month. And I have to tell you, this particular thing, I did not find a particular centerpiece and copy it. What I wanted to do was, again, teach you how to do a basic centerpiece, and then you can copy anything from here. And it doesn't, and like I say, we're using the cheapest stuff, the honestly, the crappiest looking stuff you can find out there. You can find nicer greenery if you want to and spend a little bit more money, but I just wanted to be able to do this with the cheapest way. And so, for $8 for the greenery, $1 for the styrofoam, $1 for the centerpiece, you're at $10 with that. And then the ribbon that we're going to add at the end, then of course, you can do that however you want to. So again, we're just filling in those pieces, and I did this part slow. You can speed it up if it's been too long of a video. I apologize, but I didn't want to be able to give you the proper tutorial so you could really reproduce it yourself. And you can see where it's starting to fill in. Okay, so I started to fill it in. You can see the graduated look to it there. Okay. Now remember, you're going to be adding a bow and other decorations, and if there's a spot that doesn't look exactly right, don't drive yourself crazy, because you can't really, there's not a lot of forgiveness. Once you make a hole in that styrofoam, the hole does not go away, and so you've got to use it to fill in. Okay, so now I'm using the 7-inch pieces here on the ends, and then I'm going to graduate up and use more of the 6 and 5-inch pieces. And let me know if there's another way you want me to teach this and to break it down more. If that's important, then I'm happy to do it. I just didn't, it's hard to know what people have interest in. I'm still fairly new at this, and I want to do it for what you want, because I know how to make them. I want to teach you so you can be able to reproduce this. All right, and then we're going to use that last one, and then I'm going to cut my last, maybe 2 more packets. I can't remember it, but it's like I say, it's 8 packets total. All right, so we're going to cut another one here. All right, so I kind of figured out there what I needed. So I needed some 4-inch ones. So, and that's a good thing to do. If you're like, okay, I don't know what I need next. Well, then hold up a piece just like I did. And because I wanted to be able to measure it for you, and just measure it. And realize that you're going to put about a 1/2 inch inside the piece of styrofoam. So, you're going to get it, it's going to be a little shorter, but not a showstopper either way. And if you mess it up, you've only, take out the styrofoam and do it again, because the pieces will still work. The holder will still work. You would just have to do another piece of styrofoam. So I'm showing you that white where it's showing. But like I say, when we're done with this, that's why I use the white, is because I wanted you to see. You will not see any white. You won't know what color styrofoam this is. That's how pretty these turn out. I can't wait to do the fresh one for you. I used to make them. I had a school that I ran for homeschooled kids, actually. Had 150 kids in it, and I had a staff of 17 teachers, and each year I would make the centerpieces for them and all my bosses, and for a lot of the church people and neighbors and family. And I mean, seriously, there's years where I made 100 of these centerpieces at a time. Oh, and so that's something to tell you now so that you can be on the lookout. When the Christmas tree lots go up, one way you can get the fresh greenery for like nothing is you go to the Christmas tree lots and ask for the Douglas fir. You have to have something soft, because otherwise, if you have the really hard greenery that doesn't bend and doesn't have a lot of pliability to it, with the fresh stuff, it just doesn't come out nice. I've tried it with lots of different kinds and it just doesn't turn out as well. Okay, so now we're going back in with these 4-inch pieces and just filling in more at the top. And you can see I'm more at the edge of the where the styrofoam bends. And so you can put a 4-inch piece at the top and a 4-inch piece as it bends, and it still has that same effect to fill it in nicely. All right, now we just have this last bit. Okay. Oh, I don't know that note is right underneath. I apologize. I didn't use any more 2-inch pieces. I maybe just cut some off of that, so I did 5s and 6s. I apologize, so that screen is wrong. Have to talk to my producer about that. I know so many of you girls do all your own editing, and what's really cool is that my husband, for church, he did a lot of video editing stuff, so it's really been fun for him to be part of this too, and for us to have something to do. We've been married it'll be 38 years next month. And so, after raising kids and all the careers and everything, it's easy to each have your own things that you do, but not have things that you do together. So this has been really fun. So involve your family. There's probably a lot of help that they can give you. All right, so you can see I just got that last little bit left. See how that just has that last little bit to fill in. But it's looking pretty good, huh? What you think? I was pretty excited to see this come out this nicely with this garland. And then one thing that's really cool is, so I'll go over teaching my bows again. And then also, the thing that's really cool is to make it look like there's ribbon coming all around through the centerpiece and popping out other places. And boy, do I have the trick to show you that. That is the coolest thing ever. And you can use that in lots of different crafts that you do. Okay, some more 4-inch pieces. And some 5s. They're 4s and 5s are mainly filling in this last bit here. And you could see I could probably, I don't know, I wish I could figure out something to use for all that greenery. Those pieces that I cut, but honestly, yeah, it went in the trash, not gonna lie. So fill in the last bit of this and then do the bow and the decorations. I really appreciate your coming to be with me today. I would love it if you would join the family and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you'll know when I put out another video. I have just so many neat ideas of, actually a lot of the stuff too that I've got coming for Christmas yet is stuff that I did when I was a kid, and that my mom did back in the 60s when she was my mom was a serious crafter. She and her friend Elaine would craft like crazy people. As a matter of fact, their stuff was so cool that the teachers, when I was a kid, the teachers would argue about who was going to have us in their classes because of what Christmas gifts they gave. I mean, tell me that's not hilarious. They gave the best gifts in the entire school. So yeah, so to know that your parent gave the best gifts and the teachers were fighting over you, that's pretty cool. Okay, one last bag here. All right, and after you fluffed, so we're figuring out what we need. And that's some more 4-inch, more 4 inches of those. So just cut several of those. And don't use your good scissors. Invest in a pair of wire cutters, or those are actually needle nose pliers that have the little cutter, and those work really well too. Although I have to say, the pair that I have is out of one of those, oh, I'm a girl, I need pink or purple tools. So they're crappy, and so I need to go get a big girl pair, at the hardware store. Go get me a pair of them good ones. Now, I'm not sure why the camera was freaking out there. I apologize. It might have been trying to focus on the ruler. I'm so sorry. This is a vision check. We're just doing a little optometry thing here. I was a school nurse for a year. I did vision checks. Yes. Cover your left eye. Read the letters. Now, as far as the candles, so you could use a fake candle from Dollar Tree. I did not actually, I might have shown one, but you could put that in the center and use the same hole. And actually, it'd be nice if you got like a candle, one of those plastic candle holders that you could just put as a spike in the center and then take the candle in and out. I'm so sorry, the camera is freaking out. Okay, now we're measuring again to where you want it. And then what is that? 5 inches? I apologize. I'm so sorry. I gotta move that ruler, I guess. I'm still learning. So we'll do some 5-inch pieces. Uh-oh. What happened there? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm so sorry. All right, we're going to cut some more 5-inch pieces. And you can see those little 2-inch pieces I put off to the side. So I did 5, 5, 2. And we're filling that last little bit with the 5-inchers. You can see it looks really nice. Now, if you want to bend those pieces down that are on the base so you see less of the holder, you can. But the holder is actually really pretty, the little wood piece. All right, so go ahead and fill that in with the last bit. You fluffed, you cut. You can see again that there's like a ton of the greenery that's cut in that silver baking pan that I cut off of the edge of the ends. And you can actually see too on the end here, the very ends have how it's just really just the wire you want. Don't get crazy with it, but you do want to snip off most of that. And it is nice to have that candle to hold on to so that you've got the leverage. Oh, we're going to cut that guy off. And that's the nice thing too. If you end up not needing a piece, you need to cut it down, then that's the beauty of it. You can just cut it down. There we go. We're at the home stretch. And again, thank you so much for being with me today. I just really hope you're having a great day. I hope you're staying healthy. And that you get to be with your family for the upcoming holidays. All right. Cut that last bit down, and you can see the little bit that I have there. So I have like 4 pieces left, and then some little 2-inch pieces. So basically 8 packages minus 4 pieces. And it's very easy to order online with Dollar Tree and then have them deliver the case to the store. And then it's really nice. All you do is then when they send you an email when you've got it ordered properly, and then when the package actually arrives, then there's a QRL code, I think that's what it's called, that you just take in, and the manager just zaps that, and then they give you that case of whatever you've ordered. But look how nice that looks. And this is one that, like I say, you don't have to make it again. You're good. All right, so that shows you again that I used the 8 packages, and that's what I had left. All right, and a few other little pieces here. That's it. So pretty use, very little waste. Okay, now we're going to do our buffalo check bow, and we're going to decorate it up. Now, that's the other thing, too, as I was showing you. The Dollar Tree candles, they are the 12 inches, and they really do work. They would work well in there as well. It's just a matter of you got to turn it off and on and take that in and out to be able to use it. So it's the same height, though. I'm sorry that's out of the frame, but Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's the same height. So you could use that. And obviously, please do not light the candle if you use a real one and leave it unattended. No fires, please. Don't leave it. Don't light it. Light it when you're sitting there with it, please. Okay, so then those are pieces of wire. Now I gotta tell you, I use the Dollar Tree wire. It's not my favorite. To really do a good job of being able to poke some the pieces into the styrofoam, that wire was a struggle, I'm going to tell you. And so you want some that's a little bit firmer, as far as just having a little bit of body to it. And the floral wire that's wound around that you find at Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby and so forth is not my best choice. Chenille stems are actually not enough either, so I'm just showing you that's a Dollar Tree. Oh no, I lied. That's from Hobby Lobby. Now, you want to use 1.5-inch ribbon with this. You can use thinner, you can use thicker, but to the scale of what we're doing, this is what works best, is the 1.5 inch. All right, so again, let the ribbon tell you what direction it wants to go. Start with your tail. Then you've got your bows that are your loops that are going each direction. Crimp them up. And see, the ribbon just tells you which way it wants to go. Crimp it again. And the goal is to have 4 loops on each side. And that flaps underneath naturally. All right, and then we're getting ready to do the button, which is in the center, which is really nice to have that. So you've got your tails and your button in one ribbon. You don't have to add tails. You don't have to have no button. It's just such a nice bow to learn how to do. And again, I've made hundreds of them. So can I, there you go. Curl your button, grab it. There you go. There's your centerpiece. See, it's all crimped in. And I've had times, I should show you how I do it wrong. I've had times when the button comes undone and it doesn't, I did it the wrong direction. It doesn't matter. You just wrap the wire another time around and it fixes it. So if you want to see how to fix it if I do it wrong, let me know in the comments below. Let me know too, what else I can do to, what other requests you might have of crafts at all. I am not afraid of anything. Okay, so you can see the tail there and the tail there. So we'll cut that. Can't believe I cut those with my gingers with the wire. Oh, what's wrong with me? Okay, and then you've got your finger there, so you can just stick your wire right through there and then just twist it off, and then you have a nice bow. And that's not hard. You guys can do that. Again, I said I'd help you on FaceTime. I mean it. You let me know, give me a number, and I will walk you through until you get it. I promise. And just twist it up. Then I like to put my bow off to the side. Excuse me. I like to put my bow off to the side and then dovetail your ends. Cut them. Yeah, pick up the correct scissors, Jen. Don't cut them with the wrong scissors. Those silver scissors are my gingers. They're my, sewing scissors. Nobody touches those scissors without threat of injury. All right, so then we're going to put the bow in. And what you want to do is just get that wire the best that you can and kind of twist it together so it's one piece. So twist the ends together and then just kind of find where you want it. And it may kind of curl up just so long as it gets in there, so it's going to sit and stay where it needs to. Sit, stay. Sounds like I'm talking to Maverick or Penny. Okay, so I'm going to cut some of that off, so I had too much. And again, like I say, make it where it's twisted together so it's as much as one wire as you can. If you have 2 pieces, it definitely is not going to stick in that styrofoam. It just won't have the strength or I can't think of the word, but anyway, it won't sit right. Okay, so there's your bow. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the little loops that come out. So what's nice is you already have an angled loop, and all you're going to do is make a loop there. and you got a tail, and then you're going to cut it. And I'm measuring that because I've never measured that before, ever, for anybody. You guys are special, man. And welcome back to my subscribers. You guys who have started to stick with me and, given me a chance, I can't thank you enough. Seriously. This has been such a neat adventure, and I've always wanted to share this with people. Okay, so then you crimp that, and then take a piece of wire, wrap that sucker around there. There you go. And twist it really well. And then I usually do 3 of those pieces around. So you've got your your bow, and then you've got those 3 pieces around. And then, again, twist those wires together so they have a better chance of sticking in. I just don't like that wire. I'll have to look at the gauge. I'll let you know the gauge that I use. But you want to have the best chance of having it stick in there. And so then you're going to stick that to the side. That was a weird place that I put it. I think I was just trying to get it in there. Just trying to get it to stick. And then you put it down, and then once you bury the bow or the tie-off piece, look how pretty that looks. I mean, it just adds that extra little bit of elegance to any centerpiece you do. You can do this now. Once you've learned this trick, you can do it with anything, and it is so wonderful. Okay, so then I'll start my next one. My next one has a flat cut edge, so then to save ribbon, I'll start and do my ribbon first, and then I cut my angled piece and crimp it up, do the wire. And then I'll put that kind of in the middle. And the thing is that be careful that you don't put stuff too high close to the candle. You want to kind of put it down so it does hang and see how that hangs and goes to the bottom of the greenery there. That's what looks pretty. And then cut a third one. And if you want to do 90 of them in there, I don't care. Do what you want. This is just what I like, what my eye likes, and what I've gotten good results. I mean, granted, when you hand somebody one of these things, they're not going to look at you and go, oh, well, it should have had 5 pieces, not 3. I mean, seriously, they're not going to do that. Okay, so I'm rearranging these because I didn't like the placement. I'm sorry I'm taking so much time. I'm sorry this is so long, but there's just no other way to teach it. So now be sure and look at the rest of the playlist today for the Christi Creates challenge for the Chic on the Cheap. And like I say, and now I can tell you that real greenery centerpieces like this are nothing less than $50. And the thing I hate about those is they just cut the ends they don't make the ends look pretty. The ends of the greenery, they just go back and snip them, and it's not natural, and I hate that. And the same with this. Look at all the pieces. It's really nice. So you can see the edges. Yeah, so look kind of from the side, from the top. You can just see how it fits so nicely. And then I'm going to get some other Dollar Tree items. And just now the Dollar Tree, the wire that's on this Dollar Tree stuff is awesome. And quite honestly, it's a little thicker than I would need, the little thicker gauge than I would need normally. But as far as just taking these items and poking them in with this styrofoam, piece of cake. This was awesome. This is the easiest part. The ribbon part was a pain in the neck, but this part was really simple. Okay, we're on the home stretch, kids. I can't wait to see. And you know what? Please send me pictures. I have an Instagram, and I'll put the link below. And send me pictures. I would love to see it. And I'm getting ready to do a giveaway for when I hit 200 subscribers. And I have procured numerous of those amazing calendars that everybody wants. If you go to an urban area, Dollar Tree, you find that is not what people don't buy crafts. So I went to downtown Denver, a difficult part of town to be in, and there was craft stuff there. Oh my Lord, have mercy. So I have those calendars that I'm going to give away. I have all kinds of cool stuff when I get to 200. All right, so just use that greenery there. And honestly, now, if I'm doing a fresh greenery, I don't use much of the fake leaves or any of that stuff. I just don't like it. All right, so we're gonna use the cotton. You can use whatever you want. The Christmas balls, those tiny Christmas balls that they have at Dollar Tree are amazing. And I just try and put little groupings of whatever items I want to do a pop of color, some texture, and I do that between those bows. Okay? See how nice that pine cone sits in there? Oh, those are beautiful. And then we're going to add a little bit of the red to offset the red candle. Oh, that baby slides. Look at that. Just got to get it in there so it doesn't stick up weird. So that baby I had to really pop in. I probably should have just cut that off. But you can see, since that greenery is fairly close to the greenery we used, you can just bend that down. And again, this is just an idea of what you can do. This is just the start of what you can do. All right, I'm going to glue that pine cone back on. One thing that I've done, I've taken yucca pieces out of my yard. You know, the yucca. Well, y'all in the East won't know what yucca is, but those of us who don't have any water. So yucca it's a kind of a cactus, I guess. And so it's a real pretty piece. And I sprayed just a tiny bit of a gold glitter on it, just really subtle. Oh, it was beautiful how it hits the light. You can just look around and find all kinds of neat stuff. I've used yarrow. I don't know if you know what yarrow is. It's a perennial that, again, is a kind of a no water sort of thing. And it was beautiful. Just sprayed a little bit. Just look around. Look out in your yard. Look out, think about what you could use that you even have. And any kind of pine cone. Now, granted, if you use great big pine cones, they're a little bit harder to get to set down in that greenery, but you can do it. All right, let's cut this bad boy. All right, we're on the home stretch, kids. We're almost there. And these cotton balls look really cute with the, they look really cute with the black and white, the buffalo check. A little bit of red in there, a little more pop of color. And I think we're about done. Look how pretty that looks. These are just so pleasing to the eye. And when you show up with this gift and, use this as a gift, oh my Lord, people are just thrilled that you took the time and you made something like this. And the fact that you can make this and that it will be there forever, it doesn't look bad at all. So there you go. And so I'm going to kind of show you around the sides. And there you go. And you guys can totally do this. So go to my Instagram and show me a picture. First one who goes to my Instagram and, I'm going to do more. I'm going to add some of those balls. The first person who goes to my Instagram and shows me that they did this, I'm going to send you one of those calendars, either the Be Brave or the Simply Blessed, whichever you want. If you want both, I'll send you both. The first one that goes to my Instagram. Now, these balls are a little more difficult. Again, you got that crummy wire, but if you kind of just nestle that, the top of that, of the gold ball, you can see that sits there real nicely, just to add that pop of color, and you can move the greenery around. So that's another idea what you can do. And it's nice that they have that little loop on the top, but again, you got to use some decent wire. The wire that we use from Dollar Tree is just kind of irritating, but it does work. There you go. All right, I think I wanted to just show you that, but I think we are done. There you go. Thank you so much for visiting. Come back and see us again. I sure appreciate you. Bye.